I am about to go in and visit with Mr. Mark Warren. He's a property inspector that I've worked with quite a bit when I was buying my rental properties. He's one of the best I've experienced, and so we're going to do a walkthrough, and he's just going to talk through what he looks at when he inspects a property and hopefully educate all of us on what to look for ourselves. So how much does an inspection usually cost?
It's based upon the size of the house. The fee is based on square footage, or it's based on the price, on the liability that we have, how long it's going to take us to do it. So basically, if you're going to have a $200,000 house, it's going to start at $400. And then there's termites that you can do for $75. That's a base. There is sewer camera, $200. There is radon for $150, and those are all the base. Then it graduates from there. As you see here in plaster walls and that, we're looking for anything loose that's been repaired in the past and may have to be repaired in the future. Because you always got to remember that a house is a living, moving, breathing structure. Right. Temperature goes to 110, it expands and contracts. It drops down to 30 degrees or 10 degrees or minus 10. It's contracting and getting very tight. Right. And we, most time we don't think in that process, but that's really what's happening. And if you have greater fluctuation, then you have a greater problem.
Yeah, sure.
So, but that all looks good.
Awesome.
That's why we start on this level. We're looking for any roof leaks. That's why we look at every ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. The next level, we're looking for any plumbing leaks.
Yeah.
Then the basement are plumbing leaks too. So that's just a process here. This actually has a stone foundation. Where new houses have concrete, this is actually where you put stone upon stone. At one time, that most likely was a screened-in porch, but over the years, they've made it into living space. Looks good. None of the trees or plants are on the house. That's where you make sure the vegetation is cleaned up and everything. This looks good. Newer windows here. They've built on another screened-in porch on the back. This right down here, they have an irrigation system. They have a sprinkler system. And so we do not test that, but you typically will have a company that tests it. You'll notice out here that there's actually an outlet in the yard. So we'll see if that's operational. Okay, it's not operational. Now they may have it hooked up to a switch. I do not know that. So for purposes of this report, I'm gonna write it down and say that they need to confirm that it is operating correctly. You always want to make sure trees like this are off the house or off the roof because they'll cut through the shingles. When they build a deck on like this here, it should be attached to the building properly. So I'm looking to make sure it's all attached correctly. You can see they run a post, they put a concrete pier, and then they mounted this to here, and they mounted it over there. All looks in good shape. Okay. It should be on piers. That's that little concrete down here that goes deep into the ground, so it doesn't move. So you can see down here, this is copper gutter, but it's disjointed from the drain. The drain is probably clogged up also, so I will make a note. The deck looks in good shape, but there's some minor rotting. See right here, it's not structurally a problem, but it definitely is something that's got to be noted. Like I said, we're going to note all the small things. Water faucet works, and this outlet should be a GFCI, and you can see it's a different type of outlet. It's a safety outlet. Okay, so that should pop for me. So part of this house is an old house, so it has what we call open ground. New houses have 3 wires, old houses only have 2. So this is technically not up to date. These are your air conditioning units for the outside. They hook up into your furnace. This is what keeps your house cool during the summer. These 2 units here are what they call condensers. We're going to make sure they work off of air moving through the thing. So we want to make sure they're clean. These have got some dirt on them, need to be clean, need to be serviced yearly. The one is out of level. We like to see them level because they got a motor in there and it makes them wear faster if they're not level. So we're looking at that. We're looking for the ages of it. Typically condensers last 15 to 20 years, but it's a mechanical device, like your car. You can quit tomorrow coming off the showroom. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking to make sure that it has correct operational and it's cool in the air.
After closing, if you discover a big issue with the home that the inspector didn't catch, like who's liable?
All right, we have certain disclaimers just like anything you do with any product, all right? We have a 90-day guarantee. If we miss something on the inspection, we'll take care of it. We'll refund your money for the inspection, all right? God forbid there's something we could not see. Here again, sometimes we're limited. If this garage right here was completely covered with stored items, then I'm limited in what I do. So it has to be something that, like I said, that was overt, that we could see, that we missed. But we cover that. We have paid out money in the past. We do the right thing, okay? It's a 200 amp panel. You flip that switch and you would have the whole house shut off inside of it. There is for the gas meter down in the basement. That right there is like a compressor fitting, but it's actually a natural gas fitting if you wanted to put a gas stove, a gas grill out here. So that's what that is for.
Okay.
The outlet over here did not work. Okay, it didn't trip out for me. The storm door doesn't close properly. All these little maintenance things. Nothing significant, but
When in the home buying process should they reach out to an inspector?
as soon as they sign that contract,
Okay.
okay? Because you have a limited time frame to do that. And when you have all these subs and other people that have to come in and type reports to get it out to you, you need to be able to have enough time frame. Do it immediately.
Actually, I've noticed in the past when I've worked with other inspectors before you, it's always stressful because there's only 10 days for the inspection period, right, after you're on the contract. And it takes a few days to actually schedule for the inspector to come out. And then in the past, before working with you, it's taken like 3-4 days. And it's always stressful because I'm coming up to the end of the inspection period. I don't have much time to make a decision. Why is it so important for you to get this done so quickly?
Here again, we always try to work on a 24-hour turnaround just because there's a 10-day time frame. You may be already 3 days into that time. You got to set up subcontractors. Like here today, they have a radon person, they have sewer guy, and then they have a mechanical guy. Then they've got to get their reports out to you. So collecting all the data you need takes some time. So now you're already 5 days into the process. If you want to get a contractor out here to give you a bid on something that you want to negotiate, then that takes a couple more days. So you're always running to the wire. So that's where you want a good team that gets the reports as fast as they can. So getting it done ahead of time is what's going to help you. As soon as you sign that contract, you need to have all your ducks in a row that you can get them done on a timely basis, because it is very stressful. You're making a big decision on a financial decision, then you got to negotiate all these things, what I want done, is there a problem, is it not a problem? And then you're relying on each one of these specialties to handle those problems for you. It's kind of like going to the heart doctor. You don't go to a ear and nose and throat doctor for your heart. So you got to have all these different people layered in here to take care of the business. So that's the best thing you can do. Get it done immediately. Okay?
How soon should they hear back from you with the finalized report?
Well, that's kind of the tricky thing. So if you got an inspector that's very good, he's usually booked out. So you need to call him immediately. It may be a week before he can get to you. Typically it's going to be 1 or 2 days, all right? But it could be a week. Right now, we are booked out. You can't get us till Monday, all right? And this is Wednesday. So that's why you got to do it immediately. The report process, they're going to type it out. Our firm gets it out the next day. Typically, an inspection will take 3 hours, but I have a team I use, so it will take an hour. But people's expectation is, because the last time they had a house done, they had a single guy, it took him 3 hours to do it. They say, well, how can you get it done faster? Well, I just man it. I have more people doing it. While I'm doing the exterior, Julio's doing the roof, Electa's upstairs, going through everything, does the next floor. Then Julio gets done with the roof, he goes down to the basement, starts taking apart electrical panels. And so our process is just quicker. That's all there is to it. Here again, it's the same value because we do the entire inspection and everything, but people think time frame means that it's the quality of the job. No, it's the quality of the job. The time doesn't matter one way or the other. Okay.
So for first-time home buyers, what are some of the things that they obsess over too much that really aren't an issue?
You want to stay on the majors. Here's the 5 major things I talk about. Structural, foundations of the house. The roof, that's your next biggest cost most likely. The heating and air conditioning, the furnace, air conditioner, the mechanical devices, the water heater. Those are different costs there. And then the electrical panel. And then the plumbing, the sewer camera. That's why it's important to have a colonoscopy done on the sewer system with a video so you know exactly. All right? So those are the 5 majors that I talk about. Now, if the house needs a lot of work, been run down, been neglected or abused, we're talking different things. The normal house with people, it's just gonna be how well did they upkeep. I'm not worried about stains on the carpet unless the carpet's missing, broken windows, that kind of stuff, all right? So you're gonna get a full detail whether it's an older house or a newer house, and have those things been repaired or updated.
So after a home buyer gets the inspection report, what do they do with it?
Here's the thing. What's critical is having a great agent. A great agent with knowledge will be able to take that report and help negotiate the things you want. Now, we're in a very tight market right now. A lot of people are waiving the inspection because they can't get it. People are not going to do any repairs. But a good agent is still going to help you understand, are there major concerns here? Is it over your budget? Is it going to cost you too much money within your budget and your price range? So you've got to have your great agent. Your great agent is the person that I'm going to send a report to. You'll get it also, and then they make the things happen in the best way for you. Or they will do it for a fee, okay? Just call Sewer Pros, and they will take care of it.
Wait a second, okay, so who's doing the sewer inspection?
Sewer,
Pros?
yes, but
Okay,
they will not pull the toilet unless they're paid for it.
And how much is it to pull the toilet?
I think it's $125.
Is it just pulling it off, like with the rubber? I mean, my husband probably could do that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you got somebody to pull it, it's just a matter of shutting the water off, undoing the lines, and pull it, and putting a new wax ring on when you set it down. Yeah,
Okay, and they're 125 at Sewer Pros.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and which toilet?
The basement one, I believe.
That's the one they want to do. Okay, let me call my sellers and talk to them about that and try and arrange that for tomorrow.
Excellent.
The Sewer Pros said they could come back tomorrow.
I know. I don't want to say 100%, but they should be able to.
So what makes the difference between a top-notch inspector versus a run-of-the-mill?
Experience, period. Okay? Nobody is good when they start. Since I've done 15,000, I can pretty well walk through and tell you, is there a problem, is there not a problem, is this a concern or not. I'm not going to dote on little minor things because that really doesn't matter. If the majors are here, I've never told a person to walk away from an inspection, but my report will reflect the data, the information you need to make a wise, prudent decision. And that's what you want. And then you want somebody that will give you constant feedback, anything. I tell my clients, you can call me 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years from now. I feel my responsibility, my due diligence to take care of you when I do the inspection. It's a personal thing to me if I can't take care of you.
In here, my biggest concerns were these outlets. So they're reversed. It is a hot and neutral reverse. Mark, do you want to elaborate on that?
Sure.
So both of these outlets in the bathroom and right here are hot neutral reverse.
Okay, so on an outlet, you have a silver and a bronze.
Yeah.
And those polarity, when you get into here again, the physics of it and all that kind of stuff, it's going to give you electric. It's never going to cause a problem. Used to be more of a concern when you had electronic equipment because the polarity could be a little different, all right? But I've never had a problem with it to where, back in the day when you had transistors and different stuff, it used to be. So it's technically not right, but it's never going to cause you a problem either.
Okay, and that's just a matter of someone just wired it up wrong, or
Yeah.
so simple enough, or just replace the
Pull the plug out, flip the 2 wires over, and you're
and
done.
good to go. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So it's, like I said, it's more of a technical thing.
Yeah.
We note all those things,
Yeah.
but it's been there for 90 years.
Right.
So that's why I come back to the common sense thing too.
Right. Like, okay.
Asphalt drive looks in good shape. It's going to need to be sealed every once in a while. The outside of this house, like I said, this is a brick bomb shelter. 3/4 of brick. I make bad jokes like this. If there's a drive-by shooting, just don't stand in front of the window.
Right.
It's a bunker.
Yeah.
Right? That's just what it is. You can see the brick has moved here a little bit. but that's all a planter. It's not part of the house. Right. Screens are missing on the house completely, which is normal. I've seen them in a couple places, but that looks good. Outside so I wrote down here that the drain is above ground, needs to be buried into it. Right back here is the main electrical shutoff for the entire house.
Okay.
In this room here, you may not get as much heating and air conditioning.
Gotcha.
The distribution here is kind of cattywampus because they have added on, done this. You may find stratification from upstairs to downstairs, different levels. It's going to be warmer upstairs than it will down here, just because the physics again of hot air moving up.
Right.
And cold air drops. And during the winter, it's probably never going to be a problem with heating and cooling because the heat's going to rise again.
Right. To the top.
But you will find air pockets in here. Let's say you may sit in this corner and it may be colder than in this corner, just because that's the way this is set up in here.
Yeah.
This is your plumbing access for your shower. I
Okay.
could not get this door open. It's painted shut, but this is definitely your plumbing access.
Okay. Gotcha.
I only point this out because it was odd to me, but it just looks like it's dropped down. And because it's consistent all the way around the ceiling.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just that they used the ceiling molding to did it and created a little different effect.
Yeah.
You know. Somebody had a good idea. And you got visible cracking, which is normal again, you know. There is the anomaly, Tim.
Oh.
You got moisture,
That's active moisture. All
right?
right.
It hasn't rained. This is back where the inset, this is the addition. All right, and you can look right down inside here. Here's on the back side here. I don't know where the water's coming from. Okay? I don't know if it's back in that bath or anything else. So, basically, I'm gonna write it down in a report that we noticed there was water in this. We didn't determine where it's coming from. All right, so I'm not solving it. All right, I wish I could, but I don't know. I don't see anything up there, or you don't see it running down here. You see it at this point here, unless they ran a sprinkler on the outside or they did something. I just don't have the answers to it. All right.
So we did notice a lot of water in the yard, so I think that they've probably been watering more than normal because they were on the
It could be a
market.
water spigot. It could be it. Yeah, we discussed that out in the yard. You know?
It felt very soft when we were here.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that's something metal right here.
Yeah, that's probably rebar or whatever in the concrete.
Yeah.
Is what I would think. So basically, we're going to leave it up to them.
Yeah.
All right? Because I don't know. I'm just going to put in a report that there was evidence of water, moisture at this point. Once the source of the thing is controlled, they make repairs. I'm not worried about it in the sense of, is it a structural problem? Is it chronic leaking from the outside? And it may leak from the outside, all right? But that's why you have a sump pump also. No basement is ever completely dry.
Right.
Just understand, you can't put a hole in the ground and keep water out. So structurally, brick bomb shelter, it's been well maintained. Typically in these houses also, the people take good care of them.
Right.
So I never trust anybody though.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's why we hired you to take care of you. So you will get a report from me this afternoon.
Okay. Cool.
Listing everything that we find, and then you'll go over it with Lance and you'll say, here's the things we like to take care of. It's just a matter of solving it. But there's nothing that I see as big ticket in here.
Okay. Great.
And then feel free to call me 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years from now.
Great.
We stand behind our business and what we do. So we all good to go, okay? Yeah. I think we have a problem here. Okay.
Well, it's to the wet bar, right? So you're going to be walking like this anyways.
I like how you think, okay?